Alright, welcome to the section where I will show you how to install the done for you blocks that you've purchased. Now to install these blocks, you will need a domain name with hosting. So you must own a domain where you want to host your e-commerce blog, e-commerce store, and you need to connect it to a hosting. The DNS should be pointing to the host. Then the hosting should be done on a Linux server and you should have cPanel access. Now all of this is a standard setup for WordPress. So if you got WordPress installation somewhere, or if you've been using WordPress blogs, or if you've been creating WordPress blogs, you will already know how to do all this, but I want to show you. So even if you are not technical, you should know how to set up the done for you blocks. So the second thing that you're going to need is cPanel access. And then you will need MySQL database on the server, and you will need MySQL database access. Then finally, to upload the files to the server, you will need FTP access, or you can also do this through cPanel, but I think it's a bit harder. I always prefer FTP because it seems easier. So I'm going to show you how to set up the blocks using all these steps on your server. So let's get started. So the first thing we need to do is extract the zip files into a folder on your computer and then copy it to your domain and put it online. So for that, we're going to use FTP, and I'm going to show you exactly how using the free program FileZilla. So you'll be able to download the zip file containing the backup of the WordPress blog, the WordPress e-store, and it's going to be a single file like this. And the first thing you need to do is extract this file to a folder. So I just extracted it and it's coming through. This is a standard WordPress backup. You've got a database here which you can restore. And of course, all the different files that are used for WordPress, they will all be a part of this backup. And you need to upload this backup to your domain, to your website through FTP. So let me show you exactly how to do that. To upload these files, we're using FileZilla, which is a free FTP program, and you can use it too. You can download it from the internet free of cost. So what I've done is I've logged into my website using FileZilla. I've entered my host name, my username, and the password. You can't see them here because I don't want you to log into my website. So in any case, put in your host name, username, and password and go into your website. And on the left hand side, I've got the entire directory which I had extracted all these files, and this is the database. And I'm going to put all of this online simply by selecting it all and dragging it into the server. So that's going to take some time. There are about 3,500 files, and depending on your internet speed, it can take maybe a 10-15 minutes or so. So gotta wait patiently, till the time this entire thing is uploaded. And let's move on to the other steps, and I'll show you what other things you need to do to set up your WordPress e-store done for you store. Let's move to step number 2. The second step is to set up the database. You will need to take the SQL file that came with the blog backup, and put it online on your server. So we'll need to first create a new database for the WordPress site that we are creating, and then we'll need to restore from the SQL file. Let me show you how to do that. Alright, so this is cPanel, and when you log into cPanel, you will see the database section, and you will see the first option that you need to work with, which is MySQL databases. Let's click on that, and you will see a list of all your databases, and there's an option create new database. So what you need to do is type in the name of your new database. So let's say eStore01 or whatever you want to call this database, call it that, and it's done. Then the second thing you need to do is add a user to the database. So you got to add a user. So just give it any name and a password, and you got to enter it again. Create user. The user is created. Now we got to add him to the database. So we are back in the main section again, and we can select the user we added, then select the database we added and click add. So this will add the user to the database, and you can set up the privileges here. So I'm going to go with all privileges because this is my master user. You can do the same. Click on make changes, and then the user will be added to your database. So our database creation is complete. Now we need to restore the database from the backup. For that, we're going to use phpMyAdmin. Let's click on phpMyAdmin, and this will open an instance of phpMyAdmin in a new browser window. And you will see all the databases that you own. So just click on the database you want to restore, and then go into import, and then choose the file that you want to import from. Here I have got the database, so I'll just click on it. Select the collation. You should select UDF-8 if you're using international language, which usually we use all the time these days. So use UDF-8 and just click on go, and it's going to restore the database. First it will upload the database to the server, and then it will restore it. And the next step is to tell WordPress about your restored database. To do that, we'll need to modify the wp-config php file. Now this is the file where WordPress keeps its database connection information, and what we're going to do is modify this file and upload it to the server again through FTP. So to modify it, you're going to use any standard text editor. I like Notepad++, so I'm going to use that. Click on edit with Notepad++, and the file is open. You will see all your data in here, and here will be the DB name. You need to replace it with the database name that you selected, and it should have the complete name along with the prefix. Then there's the database username. You're going to put in the username that you fed in the last step, and finally the database password. So you put in the password that is your password. And the DB name and the DB host will be localhost, because it's the database server and it's going to be hosted on the same server as the database. So all of this information should remain the same, but you will need to modify the DB name, the DB user, and the DB password through the settings that we just did while creating the database on the server. So once you've done this, once you've modified this, upload it to the FTP location again. So after you've modified this file, just drag it online in the FTP client and upload it. Till the time you don't connect the database to the WordPress blog, you will see an error like this, error establishing a database connection. But once the connection is established, you will actually see the blog itself. So I can see the eStore now, but all the work is not done. I need to do one final step to make this work, and let me show you how it's done. When you restore a WordPress database from the backup, it still contains the links to the old website, the old domain that it was built on or it was hosted on. And to make it work, to make all the links work inside, you need to change the permalinks, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. First, we'll need to change the name of the site URL and the home address for the WordPress blog. So for that, we go to phpAdmin, and then select the database that we want to work with, or the database name that we had. And then on the left side, you will see the list of the tables that are in the database. Click on WP options, and here you will see two entries, site URL and home. So click on edit, and then change the site URL to your main domain name where the WordPress blog is installed. So if it's like something like eStore.com, change it to eStore.com and click on go. And similarly, change the home URL also to the domain name that you're using. So this will actually tell WordPress where the site is hosted, and all the links will now be in respect to this location. So now we finally need to change the permalinks. To do that, we need to type in the current username, which will be admin, and the password will be Proficom. The existing WordPress blog password is Proficom. Then click on login, and this will take us to the WordPress admin section. Then go into settings, and then go into permalinks. Click on permalinks inside settings right here, and here you will see the permalinks for the blog. So change it to whatever permalink you want. If you want to keep it the same, then keep it the same, and then finally click on save changes. Now WordPress will update the permalinks for this blog, and then your WordPress installation will start working fine. So if I go to the main page and I click on any product, and as you can see, the product has started working, and you will see all the features that it has. So this is how you need to set up the WordPress done for you blogs, and I hope this guide was helpful to you and you will be able to set this up without any fails. But in case you found it something that's too complicated and you don't want to do this, you can hire a guy from Fiverr.com, hire someone from Fiverr and show them this video. They might already know how to set up your WordPress blog, and you might be able to find a good guy for only about $5 to $10. So make sure that you do this yourself successfully, and if you can't, hire somebody from Fiverr.com cheap and get your blogs installed. Good luck on your ecom journey.